Day 3. What up, you guys? Today I want to talk about kind of the overall concept, and I also want to open up some Zmail that I got. So what am I trying to open? What do I envision my comic book retail shop looking like? And a lot of it is there's so many intersections that I think comic book retailers just miss and don't really, lean into when they should. So if you take me, for instance, yes, I read comics, but I also do a lot of arts and crafts. I also like video games and movies and things like that. And on top of that, like, I'm a human being and I drink coffee and other things. So for me, what I'm trying to do is find all those intersections that a comic book reader would find themselves in, right? So like, they might want to draw. They might want to have a cup of coffee in a location that's, kind of leaning towards or geared towards people that like comic books. And guess what? If you like comic books, you probably like movies as well, whether those movies are comic book related or just overall sci-fi. What's another aspect? I think a lot of comic book readers, as we get older, we begin to read more sci-fi books. We begin to read about history of comics and things of that nature. And so it always surprises me when I go into a comic book shop and none of those things exist. But so what am I trying to build? I guess is best shown maybe if you kind of understand that process of like, everything that I like, every intersection that I think a comic book reader finds themselves in, I'm gonna cannibalize those aspects and make a hub, a one-stop spot for all of that. That's overall the idea, the goal of it all. But obviously we're gonna go into deeper dives on each one of those things, such as like, how much does it cost to start a retail space for comic books? How much does it cost to start a coffee shop? How much does it cost to start a library? Right? Because I think a lot of comic book readers go to a library, and especially right now with the current climate, like, I want to have a place that has good books available for people. I want to have a large zine library where people can come, get a cup of coffee, and then flip through the zine library and peep out different perspectives and hear from different voices and different realities and firsthand accounts of their life and what they've undergone through so many different eras and phases, right? That's what's so important about like literature and art and all that, is that it really is a representation of a time, a thought, an emotion. Like, when you lose that, you begin to lose your history, and as you lose your history, you're doomed to perpetuate and fall into the same traps that we have fallen through as humanity time and time again. And so it's scary to me when I hear about them cutting funding for libraries and education and things like that, when they're really pushing hard on independent media companies. Independent, right? But they're pushing hard on them and leaning on them to go a certain way with the narrative. And that's where alternative media comes into play. That's where referral publication comes into play, where, again, if these spaces don't exist, then we need to create those spaces. So then beyond that, let's go ahead and open up the Zmail real quick. Rich, hope you're doing well. Just want to send some new zines your way. Thanks for the support. Keep it up. Love the Cena comics. Big Mac. Hail to the zine, baby. Newcastle Pride 25. Unapologetically visible. Good. Take up space, you guys. Hey Rich, how's it going? I feel like it has been ages since I sent an email, and I am sorry for that. 2024 was a rough one, and 2025 doesn't seem to be letting up yet, but at least we have happy mail, right? Renee of Litter Zines made the awesome No Note Left Behind sticker. I love it so much. It might be a little big for a water bottle, but I'm sure you'll find a place for it. That's because the stickers always go to my wife. Thanks, Evelyn. I'll get this wrapped up so I can get it in the mail. Best wishes to you and yours. Next. And again, the idea is that these will find a brick and mortar location where people can read through. And so with that being said, if you guys have any zine that you think is worth having in this library, any zine that you think matters and you want people to read it, you want people to really feel what you're kind of feeling and what you're trying to communicate, go ahead and send that to the P.O. Box, okay? That's going to be Feral Publication, P.O. Box 3281, Sonora, California. Once again, Feral Publication, P.O. Box 3281, Sonora, California. But like I said, the idea is that we're gonna find that brick and mortar spot, we're gonna open it up, and we're gonna have this library for people to be able to read them at their leisure and really just keep that going and growing, all right? So if you guys are interested in that, again, send it to the P.O. Box. If you guys are interested in seeing that process of me trying to get that retail space, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and tell people what we're up to. Lates.